timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to Shaq!
You know, they were trying to find themselves, their identity. You know, when you have 2 alphas on a team like Kobe and Shaq, you know, it's really hard for one of them to fall in line in order for it to work. And it was almost like whoever had the hot hand that night, that was the alpha that night, right? So, and it was beautiful to see when it came together, because it was fireworks, man. Kobe and Shaq, to me, is the greatest duo I've ever seen in my life.
So Lakerland, I know y'all remember that iconic alley-oop from Kobe to Shaq. I mean, the NBA always show it around playoff time. But do you new NBA fans know about the backstory behind that game? A backstory of a franchise who almost blew the opportunity to create a dynasty. Lakerland, buckle up. This is the story of Game 7 of the 2000 Western Conference Finals.
Basketball, a game of giants. When he had to, he knew all the tricks.
Nobody can pass that ball through the heart of the 6. You want to put on the show here.
Tonight, Game 7, the game which is always decisive and nearly always dramatic. By all accounts, this has been Shaquille O'Neal's best season, but history's account of his career will depend in large part on championships won. Rasheed Wallace has battled the Lakers and sometimes himself, averaging 22 a game while trying to harness his fiery emotions. Kobe Bryant is one of the game's most spectacular young talents, but will he be at his best in his first Game 7?
So let me catch you guys up to speed. We are in the 2000 NBA Western Conference Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Portland Trailblazers. Going into Game 5, the Lakers had a commanding 3-1 lead, destined to appear in the NBA Finals. In stunning fashion, facing elimination, Scottie Pippen led the Trailblazers to a huge win in Staples to stay alive and shift the series back to Portland for Game 6.
Portland knows they can win on this one.
Scottie, a tremendous game for your ball club tonight. I know you were concerned coming in that those 2 losses at home maybe had done some body blows to your team, but you came out and played hard tonight.
Well, I never worry about us on the road. We tend to play much better on the road. We play much smarter basketball. We play harder, and we realize the odds are against us right now. So, we came out and responded well, and we have to continue to respond like this.
Now, in unbelievable fashion, the Lakers lost Game 6 at Portland. Now, the Lakers continue to take their foot off the gas after that Game 5 loss. And in Game 6, the Portland Trailblazers pretty much shocked the NBA community, winning back-to-back elimination games and forcing a winner-go-home scenario, Game 7 in Los Angeles.
Pippen a meaningless 3. But one of the more meaningful wins in Blazer history is now in the books. They led by 10 at the half. They win by 10, 103-93.
Well, I was nervous, man, because you talk about one of the most stacked teams in NBA history. Scottie Pippen, that team right there, Rasheed Wallace in his prime, like so many great players, man. A young Jermaine O'Neal, Bonzi Wells, and they make this furious comeback. Now, obviously, it was a physical series. So they were getting away with a lot of stuff. Like I remember Scottie Pippen touching up Kobe Bryant in the rib cage where he was hurt. I think it was a transition take foul or something like that. But they were trying to get away with physicality. So of course I was nervous, but in my heart of hearts, I knew that the more physical and mentally tough team would prevail. And I always felt like that was the Lakers, right? Especially since we already had a 3-1 lead. But I was nervous. I would be capping, bro, if I said I wasn't nervous heading into Game 7. That was a tough team. Sabonis was on there. Who else? They had Detlef Schrempf was on that team. I mean, man, that you want to talk about a super team. They were stacked.
The stage was set. The Trailblazers could become the 7th team in NBA history to win a series after trailing 3-1 at the time. The last team to do it was the Miami Heat against the New York Knicks back in the 1997 Eastern Conference semifinals. However, no team has ever done it in the Western Conference Finals. So here we are, Game 7. Shaq, Kobe, Phil Jackson facing all-time embarrassment. The Portland Trailblazers, they had claimed the NBA's highest payroll during the 99-2000 season to assemble the NBA's deepest and probably debatably the most versatile roster. Damon Stoudemire, Scottie Pippen, Steve Smith, Brian Grant, Bonzi Wells, Rasheed Wallace, Sabonis. They won like 59 regular season games, if I'm not mistaken. That was the second most in Portland franchise history, and they pretty much owned the momentum in the series at this point going into this game. Now, if things would have went left for the Lakers in Game 7, if they would have blew that 3-1 lead overall, who do you think would have caught the blame the most? The young guys of Shaq and Kobe would have been Phil Jackson. Who would have caught the blame for the Lakers losing that 3-1 series if it would have went that way?
Man, that's tough. That's tough to say who would have caught the blame. It would have been catastrophic for sure, though. And them the type of losses that end up breaking up teams. You know what I mean? I believe Portland eventually got broken up. They thought they'd be right back. But I do believe that, the role players, like I really like Glenn Rice at the time, but he was streaky, right? I believe for the Lakers, it probably would have been the role players, and maybe there would have been some sort of trades, to try to fix that and get us over the hump the next year. Kobe and Shaq, to me, were untouchable around that time. I mean, they were playing prime basketball. Like I said, the best 1-2 punch that I've ever seen in my life. I'm too young to have seen Pippen and Jordan in their prime, so I can only judge based on what I've seen. But I tell you, man, I do believe it would have been the role players and Phil Jackson that would have took the bulk of the blame.
Now, the crazy thing about it is that the Trailblazers was practically unstoppable for the first 3 quarters of Game 7. They built a 16-point lead with a few seconds left before the 4th quarter. But then Brian Shaw banked an improbable 3-pointer shortly before the buzzer, providing the Lakers a slight pulse heading into the most important 12 minutes of Kobe and Shaq's career.
I was hoping for a miracle, man. I just remember being nervous as hell around that time. You're going down double digits into the 4th quarter. We needed a miracle, and boy, we got a miracle. What they missed, like 13, 15 straight shots in the 4th.
Yep.
So, but a lot of it was due to our defense. Again, it was a physical series, and the most mental tough team won, because that's when you need mental toughness right there in the 4th quarter in the clutch. If they were mentally as tough as we were, they hit a couple of shots and they win the series. But the Lakers clamped down at the right time. Shout out to Brian Shaw for getting it started, man. We always had clutch shooters like that, from Robert Horry, Derek Fisher, Brian Shaw, Rick Fox. They always came through in the clutch, man. Just sensational role players. And we don't win these championships without these guys. So kudos to them. But I didn't see the life until we got into the 4th quarter, and I saw Rasheed Wallace, who was hot throughout the series, start missing. He missed like 4 or 5 in a row.
Yeah, he stuck it up.
Yeah, so they collapsed, bro, and our crowd was part of that. So kudos to the best fans in the world, man. At Staples Center, it was magical, bro. It was magical all the way around. I don't know what my computer's doing, but
I love it. That's fire, though.
But yeah, it was amazing, bro. Best Laker fans, best NBA fans ever. And you remember, I still get shivers thinking of how that arena reverberated, man, with the crowd exploding after that lob dunk. That basically sealed the deal for us. Classic moment. I never heard an arena roar like that, man. You would think we was watching the Gladiator movie, the way they went off, man.
You'd have thought that won the championship. As crazy as they won.
Oh, I still remember, driving off of, because again, we watched that game in Subway, right? Me and my brothers, we didn't have cable. We watched that game in Subway, and I remember driving home and seeing like Laker fans coming out with Laker flags, like we won a championship. It was insane, just mobbing the streets. We couldn't even get past the street. It was insane, bro. And beautiful thing, beautiful memories. But yeah, man, you know what? It still seems like yesterday. It's been so long, right? But it seems like yesterday, and it was wonderful.
Now that pulse and Brian Shaw's shot proved to be like a lifeline as the Trailblazers totally collapsed in the 4th quarter, blowing a 13-point lead as the Lakers rallied to an 89-84 victory, capped off by that iconic Kobe Bryant to Shaquille O'Neal alley-oop. Staples Center went ballistic after that alley-oop. You would have thought that it was actually the NBA Finals and not the Western Conference Finals. Lakers center Shaquille O'Neal, he finished with 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists in that Game 7 before he went on to win his first of 4 NBA titles and one of 3 NBA Finals MVPs. I can remember Bleacher Report, if I'm not mistaken, doing a little piece on Shaq speaking about that alley-oop in particular for Kobe Bryant.
So Neal and Bryant, their ability to work together is the linchpin of any hopes the Lakers have.
Shaq and the Lakers, they're swept out of the playoffs.
Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal.
Are the Lakers running out of time?
Shaq better get comfortable because Kobe's not going to change.
All that stuff is over. People just want to keep on talking about it and dragging it in the mud.
You really don't have to be buddy-buddy. At some level, somebody's will has to give.
We have to win. There's no other option.
We were up 3-1. We got cute a lot of times. We let our guards down.
That aura of invincibility has been pierced big time.
This sets up an unbelievable Game 7.
They were the toughest team, and they were the only team that wasn't scared of us. But for me, I was kind of nervous, but I knew that I had to come out and play well, which didn't happen. I didn't have one of those Shaq-like games at all.
Still no Shaquille O'Neal for the Lakers.
This is a 15-point game.
This crowd is stunned.
Now for us, in our head, we got tired of failing. And if we don't get this one, just be another, oh, they had a good year, but, they failed. I know I definitely would have been the scapegoat if we didn't win that year. I know I probably would have been gone right away. I was scared of that if we didn't get it done, it'll be over. Kobe versus Shaq feud thing gonna come up. I just let everybody down. I think in the fourth quarter, I got rolling a little bit. I hit one off the glass.
They get it deep to Shaq, and he connects off the glass.
But I kept telling Kobe, hey, I'm wide open at the rim. And he'd say, I got you. The last play, I wasn't even looking for the ball because I was like, okay, Kobe gonna shoot in the fourth quarter, get it to Kobe and just get out the way. So he got it and he crossed Scottie Pippen up. And Grant left me. And I just threw my hand up. I almost didn't jump because I didn't think he was gonna throw it. But when he threw it up, I said, oh shit, this is not a shot. So I had to get up and he actually threw it up too high. If I would have jumped a second later or jumped too early, I'd have missed it. And I didn't want to take a chance being cute. I just threw it through real quick. That was the defining moment of our dominant run. So that was, the beginning of the great Laker three-peat. And that solidified us being the most enigmatic, most controversial, most dominant 1-2 punch ever created. People always ask about our relationship. You got two strong-minded people that are going to get it done that way. The respect will never be lost. But when it comes to be inside the lines and win, that's what me and him, that's what we did.
As for the Portland Trailblazers, things really was never the same. Their coach Mike Dunleavy, if I believe it, he stepped down the following day or something like that. Crazy. What did that Game 7 win versus the Portland Trailblazers do for, or how did it define the league, especially Shaq and Kobe? Did that Game 7, did that moment actually define something or identify something in Kobe and Shaq specifically, Dan, in your eyes as a duo?
Yeah, absolutely. It was the beginning of something magical. It showed their resilience, man. How resilient we were because we didn't have the best series. Obviously, we go 3-1. Portland wins the next 2 games. And now, your Game 7, anything can happen. But it showed that we had killers on our team, right? Led by Kobe and Shaq. It showed that we had the right role players and the chemistry at the time. And it was going to be the beginning of something beautiful, man. But yeah, those are the tough situations that make, your pressure turns players into diamonds, right? It showed us we had 2 diamonds. I was getting ready to go off on a magical run. It ends up being a three-peat. But what could have happened if we didn't cap that off right there, like the way we did? And matter of fact, I don't know if you remember, but we was missing free throws at the end of that game. Yep. That almost let Portland back into it. So it's insane how. This is what I probably love about basketball is that every little moment defines legacies. For example, if Ray Allen doesn't hit that corner 3 for Miami back in 2012, what would LeBron's legacy look like, right? Same thing here with the Kobe and Shaq situation. Brian Shaw doesn't, spark off that comeback. and we don't cap it off at the end with that lob dunk, what would their legacy look like now, right? Would they be even 3-time champions at that time? Or,
yep.
We don't know. But one thing is for sure, Portland, they fell apart after that. They tried to make some trades after that, and they thought they were going to be right back in the thick of things, and they weren't. So it shows you how vicious, even today in age, how vicious the Western Conference is, and always has been. It is a conference of that'll make you or break you as a unit. And I thought the Lakers, that was their trilogy-defining starting moment right there.
Yep. Now this story, Lakerland, doesn't end here. Y'all know how we do, so subscribe to the channel because there's actually a smoking gun in this story. As I was doing my research on Game 7 of the 2000 Western Conference Finals, I stumbled across an interesting video. One that pushed an agenda that at-time NBA Commissioner David Stern had rigged this game for the Lakers. I'm not going to cheat y'all out of the narrative, so here is the entire 5-minute video breaking down a possible rig job of the Western Conference Finals between the Lakers and the Blazers. And I'm not going to lie, Lakerland, I watched this and I admit Tinash's offense may be on to something. Check out the channel, but I'll let you guys decide.
Here come the Lakers down by 8. Into Shaq, but before he can make the catch, there's a foul on the play, and this is on Sabonis, and it's his second. 2 more than he had in the entire first half of Game 6, and here we are with 3.5 minutes to play in quarter number 1.
You posed the question, how would this game be called? Shaq having it on.
But Portland's got great balance, and they're playing with a great deal of confidence. A foul on Brian Grant inside them. You talked about the calls against Sabonis. Whenever you see Shaquille O'Neal run right down the middle of the floor.
Into O'Neal. Over Grant, who fouled him. And Grant turns away with a look that says, what am I supposed to do?
He's just standing there as Brian Grant picks up his second foul now. So both Blazers, Shaq, hard to see how that is a defensive foul. Is that when Shaq starts backing in, they never call that. So the disparity from one side to the other, the consistency that every player wants is just not there. Dangerous play by Sabonis.
Bonzi Wells on the drive. On the drive. Yeah, it's on Bonzi, the offensive foul. And Rasheed Wallace, in a rare situation, becomes a cooler head, pulling Bonzi away from the official. O'Neal had it go through his hands. But they're going to say Portland touched it last. And the ball knocked out of bounds and touched last by the Trailblazers with 0.8 of a second remaining.
All the Blazers are asking for is consistency. They don't feel they're getting it.
In the calls. Leaning in. And missing. Ball out of bounds. And who touched it last? Portland did.
Dunleavy can't believe that.
Rasheed Wallace with the turnaround. It's way short. Sabonis caught something up around the face from Kobe. No call. Steve Smith slicing to the basket, but he turned the ball over.
And he's upset about it. He's chasing Steve Jabby down.
Don't see many palming calls anymore in the NBA.
Offensive foul, Steve Smith.
Deep to Shaq. Sabonis apparently fouled him. That's 5 on Sabonis.
Sabonis has a legitimate complaint. Now watch the arm of Shaquille O'Neal. He's going to pork chop him on the way to getting that position. And Dunleavy's saying, "Do you see the hook?"
In our pregame conversation with Mike Dunleavy, said, what's a defensive player supposed to do? Sabonis, who had been playing so well and really had found a rhythm.
Pippen was looking for Wallace, couldn't find him. Now it's Smith. Steve Smith goes right to the rack. Lost the ball. He goes to the floor. There's no foul. And now Portland has no choice but to foul.
How's that not foul? That's the question Mike Dunleavy is asking.
Steve Smith with a great fake and hesitation will get to the rim. Shaq fouled him, but he got no ball.
Dunleavy's reaction, not only understandable, but perfectly justified. He was fouled.
That could be the season.
Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to shot. He gave the Lakers a 4-point lead. And now his assist to Shaquille O'Neal makes it a 6-point difference.
This is Seven Mitchell with Lakerland. What's y'all thoughts on that conspiracy theory? Do y'all think that, Commissioner Stern had it set up for the Lakers to, get that win over the Portland Trailblazers? What's y'all thoughts? If people say he did it for Michael in Chicago. Lakerland, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. If you would like to support Lakerland and help our platform grow, please become a member of the channel. You'll be impressed with the exclusive content as well as the discount merch you get as a member for as low as 99 cents. Shout out again to Dan, the Laker fan, for joining me in today's story on Shaq and Kobe. I'm Seven Mitchell with Lakerland. Y'all stay safe, and I'm out. Peace. For the latest and greatest on your Los Angeles Lakers, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we appreciate the support. Follow us on social media at Lakerland Show and join our Playback TV room for our free VIP access to our Lakers watch parties and, of course, the Lakerland podcast. That's playback.tv/Lakerland.